day I can go there, somewhere I ain't never been, and get away from this horrible place and maybe make something of myself.
You know, what is it? Imitation is a form of what
flattery.
Is it? Yeah, like
but J. Cole said, but I don't feel flattered at all.
Oh yeah.
But you said that you wasn't gonna rap like J. Cole no more. You gonna sell your soul. I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
no, you're right.
I like your lyrics. I like your lyrics.
I hear you. I hear you paid attention. Yeah, well, that's just. I mean, and just that lyric in general is just like. I mean, I guess I didn't mean it literally, but
yeah,
you know, when you do the conscious rap, it doesn't hit the same as it's not what people want to listen to. Always, most people when you go out, I mean, it's just not. I hate to say it, but like, listen, I go to little lounges, I go to bars, I go to hookah lounge. People don't really be playing J. Cole like that in those functions. J. Cole is really one of those, like, you know, you ride in a moment, you have a moment. J. Cole will help you get through a moment. I love the way Kendrick does it because he kind of gives you that, but he'll give you the production and a little bit more. You know, he'll give you like be humble, sit down. Like he'll still give you a little club joint. So I love the way Kendrick balances it. His last project, not as much, but
yeah, I think it was super introspective for that last project.
But it was one of those projects that didn't deserve it. Like he didn't need to do that. I get what he was doing there, but I'm not gonna be dumb and think Kendrick can't still do it. I think he absolutely can.
Yeah.
I just wish he would give us more music. But
yeah. I think he was trying to be on a new wave with that one. Like, he was bringing up some trauma shit. Like I was like, oh man, but this is. I like it personally.
Now, my only thing with that, I love the project. I love Kendrick. The only thing with that project that I had to complain about is it should have been sooner. I needed you when that Black Lives Matter protest was going on. I needed a single. I get it. You was figuring out your life. You're your own person, but I needed it then. I needed just a little bit more of you then in those, you know, moments compared to like
a year later.
The album, like, no, it was like maybe 2 years ago. I think we got the album like maybe a year ago. Yeah, it was just so. It was so delayed on when we needed to hear from you, and then we didn't hear from you throughout like all of COVID too. So then it was like your one come out is like 2.5 years removed. It's just like, yo, man, we needed you a little bit more then. That was my only complaint with the Kendrick project. Yeah, it was a weird time. It was hard to create. I get it because I wasn't creating much throughout that time either. So.
That was the only time I was creating. That was my first project. I was like, I might as well just take the time to learn how to mix, learn how to master, learn how to produce. Well, actually, I've been producing for a long time, but I learned how to mix it. And I was like, I got the time now, you know?
Dope. Yeah.
I mean, I had a baby too that same year, so that was the only thing that was like, I had to start recording in the wee hours of the night.
Yeah, night out. It was like, you know, you might write a song in 15 minutes, and one might take you 15 months. Like, it is what it is sometimes. So. Yeah, you just gotta, you know, figure out a way to push through with some of that stuff.
That's crazy you said that. Yeah, like when me and my husband were both individually guitar players originally. So I've been playing guitar since, I don't know, it's maybe like 12, 13. He started around 18 years old. So when we got married, you know, look, for me, marriage is one of those things where it had to be the right person. My husband makes music, so I was like, this is perfect because I want someone I can make music with, right? Yeah. Like the positive side of Ike and Tina. So we had started working on our album Rebirth. At the time, I don't think it was even called that. But I just started producing like seriously then. I just stopped working at Guitar Center. So I was like, let me figure out Logic real quick and made this beat. We started this, got you here alone, got you in the mood. And he started one part, like the first verse he created like that year. The next verse didn't come out until after we had our daughter and we had lived a little and like it was the perfect verse. I was so happy that it was even better than the first.
Yeah, that's how it goes. That's how it goes sometimes. It really is.
Yeah, so to get real with you, I saw this music video, like so I saw it on Instagram. I was like, oh, it's a nice little clip. And then you said nigga, and I was like, what the fuck race is he? But
that's crazy.
Hear me out.
You good.
Hear me out because in it, I was like, oh, okay, you were supposed to be your family. I was like, oh, he's like my husband. My husband's also very light skinned. So it's like he immediately gets that. He doesn't personally. He doesn't say the word Nick. I'm trying to say it less because of him.
I'm trying to too. I've been trying to stop saying it,
but it's hard. It's hard.
Yeah, it's culture. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, just our culture. So. It was just like I love that because I was like, oh, I don't know what it was that made me like it so much. I was like, he's not afraid to be him. That's him. That's just, you can tell that's the way he talks. how, you know what I mean, he was raised. And I think that's what made me like, let me hit him up. He look interesting.
I appreciate it. No, for sure. That's what got us here. The word
Yeah.
nigga.
Yeah.
I really am trying to stop though. Like I went to college. I'm educated. I know the importance of it. And one of my majors was American Ethnic Studies. Like I get it. It's just, and especially, behind the beat, it just sounds so good sometimes. I just can't lie to you.
I have to appreciate you though. You're not one of those artists that overuses it as a filler. You know what I mean? Like when someone can't think of the word to say, so then they throw it in.
Yeah, even the word bitch. Like I'm trying to,
Yes. Those two words, they always use it as fillers. To me, I like them perfectly placed, like a subject. You know what I mean?
Word.
So thank you for doing that.
But yeah, my mom's house got raided. It was embarrassing. I felt terrible for her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's embarrassing. All these cop cars in front of your house, they're literally tearing. I mean, they tore my fucking room up. I mean, it's just unnecessary. You know what I mean? And they definitely go the extra mile. And all of it was for, at the time, all they found was a pound of weed in my house. So it was just like, was all that necessary? No.
Right. So how's your relationship now with your mom? Like, do you feel like you guys were able to like mend things? Was she like understanding?
She even really, it wasn't even, I don't want to say she knew what I was doing, but she knew I wasn't working and she knew I had money. And she knew there was a lot of people that used to always come to the house. That was how my house always was. Like I had like kind of like the Fresh Prince pool house out back. So it was a shack. It wasn't even no damn pool house, but it was a shack out back. So people was coming and going. And I was always like, the thing about my mom is like, she always tried to like be the helicopter mom as a kid. But once I hit a certain age and there's really kind of nothing she could tell me, and I had a really good high school experience. I was a quarterback, played on the basketball team, track, varsity, everything. Like my experience was really good. I had a job, I had money, I bought my own car. Like my grades were really good. I was going to college. I had aspirations. So yeah, I drank and smoked at the time. She knew that. She knew people was coming all to my house. But if I'm gonna do it, shit, I'm at her house. You know what I'm saying?
That's how my mom was.
So at the same time, like, and I got the little spot out back. Like, come on, we're gonna be living good. Like, but at the same time, as long as I handle my shit, I still got up and went to work. I was responsible. Like, how much are you really gonna get on me? You know what I mean? And eventually she kind of fell back. Probably when I was like 16, 17, she kind of got off me just completely. She knew what was going on, but as long as I was handling my shit, she couldn't really get on me. And that's how I would be with my kids as well. Like, look, y'all wanna act out, y'all wanna go smoke a little weed in high school? Cool. I don't know nothing if they come around asking questions, but if you handling your business, I'm not gonna really get on you about that, because what you gonna just go do it in the car and then go drink in the car and then drive, potential accidents, and that's more serious than, all right, he's in the back, he out there smoking and drinking, got his little friends with him, but they don't be getting too fucked up, they don't be causing a ruckus around my house. So it is. So
I agree.
So our relationship never really changed. I mean, she felt bad for me, you know what I mean, because she knew like, yo, like he's a good dude, he's a good kid, he gets good grades, he's trying to do, hey, I'll tell you this, if we was from big money, I would have never been doing it. So it's just one of those things. Like, I just didn't.
But those kids do it too.
Which is really weird.
They do it too.
And that's just a life I can't really understand. But it was. I was paying my college through it. So I still don't feel bad. I do it again. I just wouldn't get caught this time. So
you're one of the people who I believe has like an organic following. Like I'm like, oh, he's got only 5,000. I say only because of the fact that I feel like I had some people who had like 20, 60,000.
Oh,
but
man.
They be buying it.
It's sick out here.
But you can tell you're by engagement, like with the comments. I'm like, oh, he's got an active following.
Yeah, you can't tell me. I'm OG.
Yeah.
Twitter, OG, Instagram, like.
I ain't buying not nan followers just because it's like, who's that really? That's gonna make me happy. I know they're all fake.
The younger me would have definitely been on that. Let's blow up, fake it till we make it. But like now, so like I even tell you this. So my Twitter history is so crazy. So like I have 60,000 followers. I followed like 40,000 people. And I'm like from old Twitter, like when it's 2009, where it's like follow Fridays.
That was MySpace for me.
Now the interesting thing is when Elon Musk bought it and he was talking about all these fake like accounts. So I used to follow hella people and then I would give it like 30 days, and everybody that wasn't following me, I would unfollow and then follow more people, because there was like a range. I can't remember exactly what the range was between people that you can follow in a day. There was like a limit. You can only follow a certain amount a day, and I would just literally do that. So then eventually, like, I just kept getting a bunch of followers. I think if you look on my Twitter right now, I think probably, I'll say about 20% of them are just bots that just, they're never going to unfollow me. They're never going to comment, or I think they're bots. And it sucks because I feel like it looks like I bought followers, but no, I'm just from the old Instagram where like you follow people and then you unfollow them. But I think a lot of them are bots. I just really believe they're bots.
But my thing is, why the hell are bots on social media? Like, what's their purpose? I guess I get there's some bot farms where they buy it and that's their whole job.
It's just to make the app look more active, you know, make the app look more engaging. Somebody says something, and especially I know with promotion of music, that's where it really excelled as far as, you know, like when an artist, like when Drake would drop something, you know, they're saying that like a lot of these labels are paying like these people to make these accounts. And then you put like a funny Drake meme or, you know, something. Oh, I love this song. Like a lot of like they use a lot of the SpongeBob memes and little weird stuff they'll do with albums to like promote it. When like if you ever look on Twitter right when an album drops, a big album drops, this is all they're doing, and you'll see instantly like 3,000 follows, 3,000 retweets, 3,000 likes, and it just makes it look like, oh man, this song is really actually that good. It's just, you know, it's something it does with the mind.
Going forward, do you think that the younger people should be buying followers to kind of start that whole fake it till you make it so it jumpstarts their career? Because you ever notice how like someone will claim to have like 40,000 followers, right? Yeah. And then some real people start following just because they think that this person is popping.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of it, but I understand it.
Yeah, same.
And if that's what gets you to blow, that's what gets you to blow. You know what I mean? I mean, I really, it's not nothing I do. And it kind of sucks because it's like, yo, even if I didn't buy 10,000 followers, but I bought maybe an extra 2,000, it could affect something. But I think ultimately, none of that matters if what you're putting out isn't that good. And to me, it's like more so what are you selling me at the same time? Like because I'm gonna look at the comments as well. Like that's the thing. Like sometimes I guess you can buy comments too now, I'm hearing.
Yeah,
but like
I've been seeing people do
the
that.
followers, what are the followers if nobody's really commenting? If you got 250,000 followers and you know, you got like 30 comments, it's just not, something's not mathing. You know what I mean? And I don't want to play like gotcha police on people's like social medias, but at the same time, it's just like, what are you trying to do here? You know what I mean? I do believe like a little bit of a look is good, like, you know what I mean? But what I'm hearing is now like these, like YouTube, I hear is like knowing what's going on, you know, like they know if people are buying views and stuff. So if they know, does that mean you get monetized off of that? Are you gonna make money off of it? You know what I mean? So I don't know. That's just a tough question, but I don't like it. I don't mind a little boost in inflation if people want to do that. Like if you went from a 500 views to like 1,500 views, I really probably wouldn't mind that as much, just because it's like, you know, you want to like, you know, I get it. But if we're doing like 500 views to 20,000 views, I think that's just shit. That's just corny. You know what I mean? Like that's just like what. I don't know, because the problem is I can't tell an independent artist or independent person to not do something like that when labels are doing it for big artists.
The labels are doing it. Yeah. So they're saying there's going to be consequences. Like basically they're going to start taking down people from the streaming platforms when they're inflating their Spotify numbers but my only thing is that
Spotify as well.
They better be consistent. Take down the independent artists as well as the label artists if they're both doing it.
Yeah, and who is the police of that? To me, that's like a whole unit you would have to hire to do something like that. If you're Spotify, you got to hire a whole team for that.
Yeah.
And would they want to?
Yeah, is it really
take
worth
their
it?
expenses and, you know, tell the shareholders, hey, we're doing this, so there's just less people faking. They're probably like, I don't give a damn. It makes it look good. I don't care. You know, so when you're a publicly traded company, you have to, you know, deal with your investors as well. So I don't mind a little bit of inflation. If y'all want to cap a little bit, hey. You know, a little bit of fake it till you make it. I really probably don't care as much. But if you really out here looking crazy with it, like be respectable. If you just drop a project, you want to get a little, because my thing is, what is the difference? Like I paid for Facebook promotion through Meta. So like when I dropped this last project, you can promote or boost your post, and then you pay to boost your post. and I gained 200 followers in a matter of 2 weeks. And for me, it was just like,
that's probably me too. That's how
are these real? But then maybe you found me through that, which is dope too. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, how do you know what is fake and what is real? Like,
I guess it's like you said in your podcast. It shows when people come out and either support you or don't. So like how you said Saweetie basically was only selling like 2,200 copies, but she has like 13 million followers.
Crazy, right? Oh my God.
There goes to proof. Or like, what was that one artist that basically had like no one at his show, but he was supposedly doing so many big numbers. I'm trying to think who it was.
Oh man, there's been quite a few of them.
Was it the baby, Lil Baby, one of the babies?
Maybe I think it was the baby. Yeah, they were getting on him about that. But yeah, that Saweetie. The only thing I want to say real quick about the Saweetie thing is I always say you gotta make sure your page promotes what you're doing. So when you go to KillemAll Coop on Instagram, it's about music. You go to KillemAll Coop on Twitter, it's about music. I have like a gaming Instagram. I have one where I just do freelance, like camera work, where I just like it's called Filming Angel. I just like recording things. Like make your page about what you're doing. If I was Saweetie, I'd maybe do Saweetie's modeling page and do her little modeling ass shots and all of that there. But it should be Saweetie's music page. Should be about nothing but music. I don't want to hear about your Fashion Nova shit. I mean, sure, you're getting a check from it, whatever, but like, if I don't want to just see, I just feel like it should just be on brand with what you're doing. And I think just don't lose sight of what you're doing, what you're trying to show people. So when you go to KillemAll Coop, it's about music. Like I always try to keep about me. I post my food maybe once a month on my IG. You know what I mean? Try to keep it with what you actually do.
That's true. That's good advice.
Yeah, even in the creation of the music as well. Like, if auto tune is the thing right now or at a certain time and I'm not on that, I don't do that. I'm not doing that. You know what I mean? This is not what I'm on at this moment.
Did you ever do the mumble rap thing? Because I don't think I heard one song.
No mumble rap. Nah, because I speak proper English and like, you know what I mean? I'm too educated to really be out here on that type of time and making myself seem like that. But you can always, of course, a song if you wanted to get busy. But I've never quite I couldn't be like, go to this song or send you one and be like, oh, it's mumble rapping. You know what I mean? I just,
But that was a whole wave for a while. Everybody was on it. Yeah. Everyone was. Remember when J.Cole released
Oh yeah, he was beefing with somebody. Who was he? Got in a tip
Little
with somebody.
Pump, I think.
And
he was like basically like, "Hey, I can get on this flow," but even still, he didn't actually mumble. He was still actually like speaking, but he was just saying like, "Hey, I can get on this flow."
And look at them both right now. Look where both of them are at. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really do think once you get on lyrically, you're gonna forever be around. Like Fab. We were talking about Fabulous earlier. I think Fab's gonna forever be around because he's one of those lyrical. Yeah, man. Talk about decades. But it's just, I think when you're known as somebody who's good with their words, people are always gonna tune into that. I think it's the phases, the auto tune, this like the little singing stuff. Like some of that's gonna get played out. People ain't gonna want to listen to it. I don't know.
Bryson Tiller, remember how he was like real big with "Don't." And then I think he had one bad live performance where people was like, "Oh, he's not that guy." And they kicked him out. Yeah,
man, it's sick out here, So, but I think with it, just boiling back to what I was saying, is just whenever you're doing what you're doing, and that's what you're on. That's what it is. And don't worry about what nobody else got going on. If you believe in yourself and what you got going on, that's how I've been moving. And I think that's what I'm saying too is going forward, it's gonna be a lot of singles. Like I'm gonna be dropping singles with a video and it's gonna look like, and I'll make like maybe 3 songs and I'm gonna put out one and go from there. And then maybe that can become a project from there and you just sync that together. But this project for me was pretty important because it was one of those ones that it was one of those things I said I started and I knew I need to finish and I knew I was going to do it eventually. So I was like, let me do this. And it's probably going to be one of the last projects I put out for a while. Like, you know what I mean? But as an artist, you say stuff and then shit changes fast. So
you be back in the studio.
So what do you got next going? What's planned on your end? Are you releasing anything or?
So we just released I don't even want to say just because now it's been a year since we released Rebirth. But now yeah, we're in the recording stages again. So it's
Nice.
funny because when me and my husband record, we end up just like taking turns watching our daughter. So we never able to like just like record in the same space, or
Yeah.
if we start practicing together, she's really musically inclined, so she wants to play with instruments too. So we can't really practice like we want to.
Yeah.
But yeah, so now we're going from square one because we like produce our own music. So we produce our own beats, and then so we're in the production phase right now, and then we'll get into the recording phase. And
Oh.
yeah, but I'll send you our I'm not sure if you got a chance to check out our EP that's already out.
Nah, send that to me. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Okay, yeah.
For sure.
It's a
Send that
little
to me.
vibe. I'm not gonna lie, it's my first time like mixing and mastering, so like
Oh, for
naturally
sure.
for me, I'm always like, oh, I could do this better. I could do this better. I know how to use these plugins
Nah,
more.
just keep trying to figure it out on your own. And then what you can also do is what I do is like I'll do it myself and I'll take it to somebody else, like
And
another
see how
engineer.
they
You do
remix
gotta
it.
pay, but they like what they'll do is sometimes they'll add a different twist to it, like a different feel. Like this, it's a second ear on the project. It's a different ear that's not it's and for you just like in the home. You know what I mean? You want to kind of sometimes make
get
sure
to the studio with the right acoustics too.
For this project, Gravity Music, I was taking beats from anything I thought sounded good is what I wanted to use. Sometimes with music, you can't be friends with everybody. You got to outsource. You can't work with everybody just in house. And I think that hinders what actually sounds good to me. Like it sounds, I think me when I go beat surfing and trying to find beats, I think that's when I'm at my best. Like, cause I don't have to be gun-ho to this selection of this producer's beats or,
So where do you usually go beat surfing? Like you try to find people
YouTube,
on like
they got the beat websites you can go to, and then you can just get on these people's socials and hit them up. Or they got their own little private stores. You can just buy it there. You can lease it. You can buy it exclusively. You know what I mean? That's how you do it nowadays. The only down part is somebody else might have that beat, but at the same time, it goes back into whatever. Yeah, but it goes back into it doesn't matter what nobody else is doing when you do what you do. If you doing it good enough, it shouldn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like if somebody wanted to take my instrumental and make a song, I wouldn't care because I feel like what I did on them, you know what I mean? I did what I did on them. So
I think the only problem with that is like the consumers, right? Like Cardi B and I think Saweetie or someone had the same beat. Not realizing that like sometimes producers send the same beat to different artists, but they try to come from Cardi like, oh, why are you stealing? It's like, one, it's not stealing because she ain't made that beat neither. But yeah, if you're doing something different with it, you're putting your own imprint on it. Does it really matter?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know. I think
a lot of beats are recycled, or a lot of beats get sampled.
Sounds,
a lot of samples are recycled.
Yeah, absolutely. And the people that know you, I really believe this. Those aren't your fans. Those are the people who are going to be like, I knew him once you do blow up. It's the people that don't know you that have always showed me the most love. The people that do not know me from a can of paint showed me the most love. And those will be the ones riding for you, telling you your shit is dope. And those are the people you should focus on. And then once you finally do get on, all them people from back in it, all your homies, oh man, I know, you know what I mean? And it's
but they wasn't buying CDs, they wasn't buying t-shirts, they wasn't repping not a damn thing.
For me, it was a different situation too. It was a lot of people who were buying t-shirts and CDs, but then kind of fell off. You know what I mean? So for me, it's even a little different. Like I did have a lot of like hometown love, especially when I was out there, because we were doing a lot of events. There's a lot of hometown stuff we were doing. People were buying shit. We sold beanies. I remember we sold 1,000 beanies. You know what I mean? With Team KillemAll written on them. You know what I mean? We were doing our thing. We was a unit. We had like 10 of us. Every show, we're coming deep. We're going to somebody got a show. If I'm pulling up, I got 6 people with me. Like people knew who we were. It was a great time, great experience. You can even look at like the bottom of my Instagram. And that's why I never delete. I try not to ever delete stuff off my Instagram. It's like you can always go down and see the old me. You know what I mean? And not much has changed. But for me, it was like you have that. And then you have people who fall off. So it's like people who are riding. And that to me has been the most interesting thing.
Why do you think people would fall off if you had to?
They get tired of you not being where they think you should be, or maybe they have an opinion about maybe something you should be doing. And to them, maybe you're not doing it. And it's like, oh, well, this is why he hasn't blown up. Maybe his content, maybe if he rapped about this. And
like in my own opinion, I feel like when people say, oh, blow up, like we all have different definitions of success. immediately as artists, because not all of us want to get to that same type of fame that like, you know, Beyonce, Jay-Z have. Like me personally, I would hate to be fucking Beyonce because I'd be stuck in the house.
I don't want to be that big. I wouldn't mind being a B-list. I wouldn't be a B-list celebrity.
B-list is nice. I want to be paid. I would rather have my success than money, and maybe like within the industry, people know me. But I don't want to be known by fucking everybody.
Yeah, hey, I don't want to. I want to still go. I want to put on a hat and maybe even a mask, walk into Target, and maybe not even be noticed. You know what I'm saying?
You don't want to be like Michael Jackson, full makeup just to get outside, get some air.
I don't want to not be able to take a trip to Costco. You know what I mean? You know, I just don't. I don't want to be that famous. If you know, if it happens, it happens. But and I hate when people like say, "Oh, you signed up for this." No, some people did not sign up for that.
I just want to love music and create my, you know, and put out the music I want to create and.
For sure.
You know what I mean? That's a weird flex. Yeah, people think that everyone gets into music just to have fame, but some of us, it's like, I wish I could quit. You know what I mean? But whenever I tried quitting, it'd be like, I get depressed or... You know what I mean?
You feel like, because it's just something out there that you should be doing. I always say this about artists too, like, we got to allow artists to like, not close their creative circle. You know what I'm saying? I think that's important. I think sometimes people want to like, critique everything about artists, and like every now and then we gotta take a step back and like allow artists to live in a little artist world. And I think that's important because I don't think that happens enough, and it kind of bothers me, you know what I mean? As like
they expect you to be a certain way. It was kind of weird to me. You know, they don't understand that like as a musician we're already kind of like the weirdos. We're creative people,
scatterbrained.
So naturally, like we're gonna have different sides of us, and then I like to say this often. Basically, as musicians, our genetic makeup comes from who we listen to, all of our different influences, and that might help create who we are as musicians. And we listen to different types of artists. That's why you're never going to be the same as someone else if you're authentic. There's obviously people who get their stuff written, or you know what I mean, but like if you're an authentic artist, you're never going to sound like someone else. Even if you wanted to, even if you want to just do a copycat beat, you're still going to bring your own individuality to that copycat naturally. You know what I mean? Like, you know, that I could hop on any one flow type person.
Absolutely.
And you have to be able to now.
But I'm
sometimes
big on,
that's what the people want to hear.
I'm big on not closing a creative circle. You know what I mean? Not everything needs to be told or sold, and sometimes you can live in fantasy land a little bit. You know, I think artists should be deserving of that. But I do feel like if you want to register it primarily off kind of how you live, that makes it just easier to digest for the average person.
And then, I feel like they always want to do that whole discrediting thing, like, oh, you ain't made $1 million. Why you rapping about being a millionaire? It's because it's aspirational, motherfucker.
For sure.
I'm gonna play this for when I do make it.
For sure. But the whole project shouldn't be about how you got $1 million either, like, or how you got money. So it's just like, just make it balanced.
I got cars.
You gotta be able to live in that world a little bit. Hey, you gotta get some gold chains. You know what I mean?
That's true.
You got to be able to live in those spaces, and you know, creativity should always be first. So
about your song Face, you basically was just like speaking about accountability, about having to take things like as they were coming, no matter like how bad it was, no matter if it was your fault or someone else's fault. So I kind of wanted to know, like, what's your process in writing that song, and then what kind of allows you to be so transparent, like, to the world when you're recording?
So that one was like, that was the last song to make the project. You know, this project, and like I said, I was dealing with it throughout like a lot of COVID, so I didn't know what was going to be placed where. It really came down to like the last, and I always try to get my project in like 3 weeks in advance, but it came down to it, you know, like the last minute. So with that song, I knew I already had a certain sounding of a project, and I knew I wanted to give them something more, I don't want to say like back, but like something more, a little more real, like a little bit more. And I always like starting projects with like your real. I always think about like if somebody heard me for the first time and they put on that song, it feels a little bit more like, oh, okay, you know, rather than like That's why like the last song on the project, it should have been the intro. That was gonna be the intro.
Love that
but
shit.
Yeah, but it was like, to me, it was just a little aggressive to start the project with. And it's, it's dope though. At the same time, like I could see somebody be like, "Oh yeah, you should have started it with that." But I just thought at the very end, calling it should have been the intro should be good enough.
I love that title too. And yeah, the song, that song go fucking.
Yeah,
look, I just feel like you was speaking like that was going. Facts on that.
I was going. Yeah, it's just something different. But I always want to try to start it like more family friendly in the beginning of the project. It's just because I'm local too, like. You know what I mean? As well, like you give that to somebody or somebody hears you for the first time. Yo, Coop. Like a lot of people just know me as a normal person, but like, oh, Coop does music. Let me check him out. And they check that out. And that's when I come with. It's a little bit more authentic